In my studies of religious prophets, it seems very clear to me that the primary goal of the religious prophet is political in nature. So let me explain. Let's start with Moses. Moses is raised by a pharaoh and essentially goes against him to free his people who are in slavery, and basically becomes the chief of this group of people, the head politician, if you will. You're saying, oh, well, this doesn't apply to the rest of them. What about Jesus? Jesus goes around Galilee and goes around Jerusalem and all this, and he preaches to who? To the poor, the sick, the needy, the prostitutes, the tax collectors, and so forth. Those who have no rights. And what does he try to do? He tries to represent them, to tell his society that they deserve rights, that they deserve love, that they deserve a certain level of equality. Look at Muhammad. Muhammad is raised in an extremely violent and corrupt society, and a very stratified society as well. A lot of rich and a lot of super poor. Women have no rights, the whole bit. What does he do? He comes in there, gives rights to women, gives rights to orphans, and basically makes a community of equals. Of course, the idea that Judeo-Christian prophets are linked intimately with God and have a religious message, it's an important part, but that's a part that was important in the past, but that it is not really relevant today. However, what is still relevant is that we still need people, we still need charismatic leaders to fight against the powers that be. Modern day prophets still exist. It's just that we don't recognize them as being divinely inspired from God. I mean, Nelson Mandela could be one example, Gandhi could be another, but let's go with Martin Luther King here. Just like Jesus, Martin Luther King was baptized, if you will, by Gandhi. He met Gandhi early on in his career, and Gandhi taught him that the ways of non-violent resistance were the best ways to achieve long-lasting results. And would you look at how he did his protests? Moreover, I mean, my Martin Luther King history isn't superb here, but I mean, he fought for Rosa Parks during the Montgomery, Alabama bus strike, which lasted, I think, almost 400 days. What else did he do? He founded his own, not religion, but his own denomination of religion based on another one. Just like Jesus had created a new religion off of Judaism, and Muhammad had created a new religion off of Judaism and Islam. Muhammad gave a great final speech. Jesus gave his Sermon on the Mount. Moses brought back down the tablets from Mount Sinai. Well, Martin Luther King gave his great speech, the I Have a Dream speech, in front of, millions and millions of people, one of the most recognized speeches to date. We celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday. There's a giant statue dedicated to him. It's a national holiday down in the States, just like Christmas is. And finally, I mean, like any other good prophet, he is suspiciously, executed at a very young age on... We'll leave it at that, very suspicious. My point here is very important. You can be a prophet. We can all be prophets. The idea of the prophet is primarily to fight for the poor, the needy, for those who have no rights against the powerful elite. And don't try and tell me that there isn't a powerful elite controlling the agenda of the world today. This is not a conspiracy. I'm not throwing out in a conspiratorial way. I'm just saying that there is an upper class, an upper echelon that controls the world's agenda, mostly in their interest, in the name of their prophet, and not the prophets of humanity as a whole. We need charismatic leaders to step up and fight the fight of the people. When corruption ceases to exist, we will no longer need prophets. I believe, and this is my personal belief, but I believe that people like Jesus and Muhammad and Moses are portrayed in a godly light to make you believe that you cannot be a prophet, that you cannot create change that is long-lasting and worthwhile and humanitarian for yourself, for us. You can't do it. Listen, Moses talked to God intimately in his tent. Look it up. Jesus is the Son of God. Muhammad meets an angel and reads from God's book. You can't do that, right? but you can affect the political change that they affected, and that's why they are remembered. Take away their messages. Take away those men's messages. They're worth nothing. They're just a bunch of miracle bags. Pfft, who cares about that? What's actually important is the effect that they have on the lives of other people. We can all be prophets. Don't believe the hype that those men were better than you. They were men, they were human beings, just like you and I, and we can have as much of an impact, a positive impact, on our world as they did.